how you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review of, it's a retro review. I know it's been a long time, baby, but it's a different world. Season 4, episode 1. So listen, here's where we get into the Whitley Dwayne part 2 of the Whitley and Dwayne saga, okay? Chapter 1 was last season, okay? Where they knew they had feelings for each other, but Whitley wouldn't give in. Now we in chapter 2, baby. Now chapter 2 is where Whitley figures out that she is interested in Dwayne, but Dwayne has moved on. So we open this episode off with this whole sequence. We see Whitley at the door. Dwayne opens the door, and Dwayne is like, "Hey, there's my baby," and they get to kissing, and it is hot and heavy and passionate. And Dwayne talks about how great Japan was, and he's got these pearls for Whitley, and they are in love, and Whitley says, "Take me, I'm yours," and he picks her up, and they walk into the bedroom. But we quickly realize that is a whole dream. Whitley is sitting on a plane in between a nun on her left and an old white man on her right, and she's like, "I'm just going to walk in the room and say, take me. Just take me, Dwayne." And they are both looking at her like, "Girl, what you talking about, Willis?" Okay. Now, she gets to campus, and while that's happening on campus, we see Kim and Freddie are now roommates, and Freddie is talking Kim to death. Kim, she was working all summer. She had lost a little weight, honey. She was looking all cute or whatever. And Freddie, that's her real name, is Winifred. She was talking about her summer vacation, and Kim is like, "Girl, I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit," because she was literally talking Kim to death. "I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit, and let's, why don't you unpack? We got all year to talk about this vacation." But then Freddie talks about she has this scream, and she says, "Oh my goodness, this is the most exciting part of my vacation," and she says that she had the opportunity to hear Nelson Mandela actually speak, and how, touching and moving it was for her and everything. While that is going on down in the lobby, we got Ron doing what Ron does best, honey. He is scoping out the fresh women, and he is inviting them to, a party at his apartment, because, that's what Ron does. And they are getting him together, okay? There's one woman told him, look like, freshman moving in, told him that, we got more things to worry about. She gives him all these statistics about dropouts and the rate of, kids that don't go to college and all that. She was like, "We got work to do. We ain't got time to party, okay? We ain't got time to party." So then we see this one boy running around we see Walter. Walter done lost weight. He talking about he been getting in shape. And we see his trainer now. Little known fact, for those of you who may not remember this, that was his actual real trainer. The woman that came in and threw him his keys, she really was his trainer in real life, when he really had, he was really getting in shape and losing that weight. And so that's just a little known fact. He was letting the world know that she was this awesome trainer or whatever. Now, we also know that Sinbad got divorced around this time. I wonder if she was doing more than training. Now, that's just me and Sauce. Don't nobody go out here talking about I said that Walter cheated on his wife with that woman. That's just me adding Sauce, okay? I'm just being funny. So, we did see Whitley roll in, and Whitley got this little freshman chasing after her, talking about how she is so beautiful, and he is new to the country, and how she need to show him her ways. Come to find out, he is from Germany, okay? But he is running around like he ain't never seen a woman before, losing his mind, little black boy, okay? We later come to find out that I will just go ahead and say this, that is Colonel Taylor's son, Terrence. And we know that Terrence gets his life together at some point. But baby, he is a whole mess, reminding us of Ron. Really not Ron season 1, because Ron season 1 was not a ladies' man. If y'all go back to season 1, y'all know the forgotten season, the season we don't talk about. I didn't even review it on here for the season. But if you go back to that first season, remember Ron was in love with Whitley's little sidekick. Remember, I don't remember her name now, child. And Ron was nervous, and it was season 2 Ron that became this ladies' man. But he reminds you of season 2 Ron. Anyway, so then Whitley is like, y'all, now listen, in hindsight, Whitley came in there and she was talking about how she couldn't move into her new apartment because, you know, she forgot to give them, she didn't pay her security deposit, and how that man was so mean that he didn't hold her apartment for her because she did not pay her security deposit. And I'm like, okay, Whitley, you still Whitley, child. And she said how she is going to go over there to that apartment and claim her man. How she realized, throughout the summer that Dwayne was the man she wanted to be with, that he was the one for her, and how, you know, it was time. And so she pulled out the dress and she went behind the screen and she changed into that dress and she threw on some cologne. Now listen, in hindsight, being 20, being some years older, and knowing the things that now that I knew, you know, knowing what I know now, in my mind, I'm thinking, you ain't gonna get in the shower with me. Like, you literally about to go over there and throw yourself on this man. You've been on a plane all day, flying from wherever the hell you was flying from, Hilton Head, wherever else, and you done went over there and you done argued with that man about your apartment. Now you over on campus, and all you gonna do, you ain't even gonna go wash up a little bit. You ain't even gonna give yourself, you know, my grandmama used to call it a whole bath. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. When you get that washcloth out, you hit them hot spots. You ain't gonna do none of that with me. You just gonna go change your dress and then go on over there and throw yourself at that man. Now, you are beautiful, but that is not the first impression you want to give, okay? Now, I remember when I was in college, you know, we would drown ourselves in some Bath and Body Works, you know, some cucumber melon, you know, y'all know all the scents from back in the day, or some Victoria's Secretions, or we even had the body shop. Did y'all have the body shop? And y'all area with the oil, and you can add the flavors, I mean, the scents to the oil. Y'all know what I'm talking about? All of those were options. You ain't doing none of that, Whitley. Anyway, but Whitley let them know that Dwayne had sent her all of these wonderful letters throughout the summer. They were passionate and they were, you know, so great and beautiful, and how she wrote him these wonderful, passionate responses, but she ain't send them. And Kim was like, girl, what? How you gonna not send the response to let him know how you feel? And she said, well, that's how you keep a man wanting you, is that, you know, he's like a dog, you know, you keep, the dogs want, they keep you panting. Whatever she said, it ain't make no damn sense. But it's Whitley, child. And y'all know Whitley is always about playing games. Remember last season with Julian, when she was mad he didn't remember her birthday, but she ain't tell him her birthday. Y'all know all that shit that she used, them games that Whitley used to play. Okay, well, it's still Whitley and she's still playing games, child. So then she goes over to the apartment and she goes in there and she's telling Dwayne that her and Julian broke up, but she got a new man in her sights. And Dwayne is like, oh my goodness, well, tell me about him. Tell me about this new man. And she was like, I'm going to make you guess. Well, just at that moment, she hears a voice coming from the back room asking, where do you want me to put these? And we know who comes out that room. Kilolo Kanishiwa Kikakakoko, a.k.a. Kinu, came from out that back room, baby. And Whitley could have been, listen, you could have bought Whitley for a nickel. My mama used to say that. I don't know what that means. But what I do know it means is that Whitley's feelings was hurt and her face was correct. And Dwayne goes on, you know, introduce her, and he's all excited, talking about how they met up, and, you know, they were both interns down to the Japan, and how, you know, he, from day one, he was into her, and, you know, how, you know, they got to flirting and talking, and they started dating, and Whitley was like, oh, well, basically, oh, well, that's nice, like, okay, well, you know, I guess you're going to go back to where you came from. And Dwayne was like, nah, actually, she goes to Avery. And Whitley was like, you mean to tell me all this time you've been 20 minutes down the road, y'all had to go all the way to Japan to meet each other? But baby, Whitley, I mean, it's obvious that Whitley was in her feelings about it, but she tried to play it off, and Dwayne, he saw it too, but he didn't want to make the whole situation awkward. So Whitley got ready to leave, and Dwayne was like, don't take, you know, you forgot your gift. So he, you know, he follows her out in the hallway, and he's like, you know, you forgot your gift. And he said, Whitley, you know, I wrote you all summer, you know, and I realized you never responded to any of my letters. So I realized, you know what, I'm just bothering her. So let me get over my life, because clearly I don't stand a chance. And she was like, yeah, I guess you're right. You don't stand a chance. So then we head on back to campus, and we got, Ron and the frats, they step in, which is, again, freshman week, we back in school, everybody showing off, it was cute, and we see Miss Corporate America Jaleesa come through the room, and she said that things are going great for her, and they can get, and, with, Kim and Freddie get her caught up on the whole Whitley Dwayne drama, and they were like, yeah, Whitley went over there to get her man, and, they're probably, doing what they do, honey. They're probably, getting to know each other and making it happen in all the right places, and here come Whitley coming in looking dejected. And Whitley tells them that, she went over there and Dwayne already got her himself a woman, and Dwayne ain't thinking about her, and she missed her chance, and she is in her feelings. And just then, Dwayne comes in with Kilolo. And of course, they're like, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, and Dwayne brings her over to introduce them, and, then she tells them, y'all are traitors. Whitley was like, how y'all gonna be all nice to her and everything? She took my man, and they were like, no, she ain't take nothing. You gave your man away because, girl, at the end of the day, you had 2 whole years to get with this man. So then Whitley decides, she said it's time for her to go and go check into a hotel because her apartment won't be ready for a couple of days, child. So she gonna go check into an apartment. And, Freddie is like, well, you shouldn't be alone on a day like this. Like, we don't think you should be alone. And Jaleesa, you got a 2-bedroom apartment. Why don't you let Whitley come and stay with you for a couple of days? And of course, Jaleesa was like, hell no. Nah to the nah. Ain't nobody trying to do that. But she does offer, Whitley a place to stay until Whitley finds out she's staying in the same apartment complex as Dwayne and Ron, actually across the hall from each other. And she was like, well, that's okay. I'm going to go on and check into the hotel. But of course, she gets to the hotel and the hotel is booked up. Why is the hotel booked up? Because it is freshman week and everybody and their mama is in town, okay? So she goes back up to Jaleesa's and she got to basically beg for Jaleesa to let her in the room. And then she has an honest moment with Jaleesa. And she says, you know what? I missed my chance. Like, I screwed up. And if I ever have a chance again to get back with Dwayne, I'm not going to mess it up. I'm not going to mess it up. I'm going to tell him every day how I feel about him. And Jaleesa says, listen, him and Kenu may not work out. They may not make it, okay? So if you really mean it, then you just going to have to bide your time, in the meantime and in between time. And then Whitley goes out on the terrace with the bottle of wine that Dwayne brought her. And who does she hear giggling and snickling and canoodling down to the fire escape over to the Dwayne's house? Kenu and Dwayne, and then she decides that she's going to shake up the champagne bottle. Well, I guess it must have been champagne, child. She's going to shake up the champagne bottle and spray it all over them. And that's how the episode ends, y'all. So that is episode 1, season 4 of A Different World. And y'all buckle up because it gets good. It gets good. We're going to speed these up. Okay? Talk to y'all later. Peace.